Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hey, welcome to another stream of Zaki to Dunya. It's your boy Zaki. And this one is going to be about something that I think doesn't get called out enough. And I've seen a few streams, so I'm not going to piggyback off of too many YouTubers. I've seen a lot of brothers do good streams addressing this issue, but it's kind of the elephant in the room in the black community, especially when we're so desperate for leadership. We the bar is so low. As long as you say the black woman is God or that black people are gods and talk about ancient Kemet and and how we're so innately superior to other races, then you pretty much get elevated in a position of quote leadership, right? Or if you're a celebrity or athlete, those are the parameters, right? So I'm going to talk about right now the so-called conscious community, and I think the so-called conscious community is naturally toxic for one reason. So one, they exploit the lowest denominator of the black community, which is people that are struggling. I think a lot of the people, like more black people struggle. They're like, hey, there has to be a reason behind this, right? And it's because, institutional racism and this, that, and third. That's why I can't get ahead and stuff like that. And a lot of these people, they're not intellectual themselves enough to figure out, oh, hey, a lot of it is by your doing. It's a lifestyle you live. It's about not trying to seize opportunities. Now, don't get me wrong. I do believe institutional racism is a thing, but I don't think it's the end all be all behind, some kind of glass ceiling that exists. I think it's a cop out, myself personally, right? A lot of black people just are unwilling to do the steps that it takes to elevate themselves. Like, for instance, back in the day, for a lot of brothers, it was join the military. Hey, in order to get out of the inner city, this podunk town, I have to join the military. I get a retirement. I get the GI Bill, all that kind of stuff. I can be able to buy a house. If that's what you had to do, that's what you had to do, right? It was common knowledge. Now, when people think they're above that, I mean, we talk to people, and unfortunately, man, this is people in my family. They think that they deserve to be paid higher than the next guy when they don't meet the same qualifications. Especially if you have like a bad record with employment and stuff like that. What makes you think that an employer deserves to pay you a decent wage off the bat just for existing? Now, I do believe in a livable wage, don't get me wrong, but it's that mentality of entitlement, because at the end of the day, a lot of African Americans, black people, melanated people, whatever, at the end of the day, we still think like Americans. We're the most entitled people in the world, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Americans are the most entitled people in the world. So we think we deserve everything. We go to other people's countries and we're like, they should operate like our country. Why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? And people only accept us really because of our money. But the way we act and the way we behave in their countries is a deplorable, right? So people think that, and granted, like I mentioned before, I do believe in basic rights. I do not believe in the welfare state, though. I believe unless you really fell on hard times and you got laid off or something like that, you shouldn't just get a check just because you exist. That's just my personal opinion, right? Universal basic income is a great idea to Finland, and then they quickly got rid of it because it just didn't make any sense, right? I mean, economically, it just doesn't even make any sense on an economic level. Like, if I got paid a couple $1,000s, I mean, me, myself, I would invest in that and save. But, for the most part, it seems like it will just make prices go up and all that kind of stuff, right? And fluctuate. So the conscious guys, going back to conscious stuff, the conscious guys, they prey on the feeble-minded, right? And everybody's been got, I'm not going to, I'm going to say some names, screw it. That, for a while, like when Brother Light came out, when Dr. Umar Johnson came out, I was really going hard and heavy with those guys when those cats first came out, because it feels good to see black men especially stand up and be so powerful, so eloquent, and so rebellious against the status quo. At the same time, I ended up veering off because I agree with a lot of your points, but I ended up veering off because a lot of it ended up becoming idolatry. For instance, I don't believe in human beings should be worshipped. Like this whole black woman is God thing, I think that's problematic. I'm practicing Muslim. I would never, we may be the first people on the earth, but I would never go and say, literally, I'm going to worship this woman just because she exists. Like that just doesn't make any sense, especially if she is a bad character. Now I can understand like how Catholics look at the Virgin Mary, she did this and she did that, and different saints and stuff like that. Yeah, there were good people that did good things and all that kind of stuff. That's something to be admirable. That's something to revere, but that's not something to worship, right? I can revere my fellow sisters. I can reveal my favorite, my fellow community. But outright worship, I think that's problematic, right? And also, they were really anti-religion in general, from the sense of, oh well, this religion did that, this religion did that. Hey, granted, especially from historical database, I mean, if you back that with facts, those are facts. However, I don't use religion to diminish somebody else's success. It's like, oh, well, if it's a Christian brother or atheist brother, this and that, and the third, hey man, if they were able to do something productive with their lives and positive, I'm never going to shoot that down, right? But for a lot of these guys, it's always like, oh, that guy's a Christian, or that guy's a Christian, or that guy's an atheist, blah, 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 blah. Their success is somehow diminished. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Walker. Yeah, exactly. That's messed up. Like a lot of these guys, they got multiple baby mamas. They're broke. They depend on their woman. The reason they say the black woman's God is because they depend on their woman for sustenance and for a house to live in. But if you think about it, what does that make you? These guys are the concubines of these women, and at any moment she has the power of the relationship, and as soon as she's done with them, she can kick them out. I see that a lot in the so-called conscious spaces, right? I see it even in my own family, bro. Like, what I'm saying? Like a lot of brothers, man, we really are in a matriarchy in the sense that a lot of guys really do like kiss their woman's ass to the point because they know that they depend on them. They don't have the initiative to want to go out and work hard. They don't have the initiative to go out and hustle and to be entrepreneurs and all this stuff. Their girl is the one that has a college degree and has a good income and has a career and all this other kind of stuff, and they're under their stead. And that's another thing. If any so-called black man that goes on the internet and complains about black women, but you depend on a black woman, I don't want to hear a goddamn thing out of your mouth. Point blank, period. You put yourself in that position. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, the only time I've ever been under woman tutelage besides my mom is I moved in with my ex-girlfriend years ago. But I had a job. I had my job. We split 50-50 on the bills. I paid for groceries too. It was 50-50 down the way. So it's never like, oh, my girl's the only income earner and she does this and she does that. I think that's weak. And no decent woman will ever respect that. No matter how good looking you are, no matter how much swag you got, no matter how much you pipe her down, she's never a guy that doesn't do anything with his life. Wander said, and shout out my boy Wander, man, always showing love. I bet if they were in deep trouble on their deathbed, they would regret not believing God. Oh yeah. And you know what? I guarantee Brother Polite right now, since he's probably facing serious time, I guarantee he's going to be on his knees begging for help. Because, guys that molest children or sexually assault children don't get no love in prison, man. He's not going to get any love. The brothers ain't going to be down with that, man, especially with his him being exposed as a charlatan. Think about where does he get all this money from? Books and stuff like that. A lot of it is through scamming people, man. And that's another thing I can't respect. Like, Brother Umar Johnson, man, he has his doctorate. He's obviously an intelligent human being, right? He gives lectures. I think he gets paid for them, right? How it's really disturbing to me that he's able to make it so far off of swindling those funds that are supposed to go to that all black boys school. Like, that's disgusting. That's disgusting. How could you sleep at night? Like, literally, especially black people, we have disposable income, yes, but when black people put their heart into something financially because they believe in it, I mean, that could have gone to somebody's college fund. That could have gone to their health care. That could have gone to, a lot of political party, right? Or black lobbying party, kind of like how Asians and then, Israelis and Jews and all those different groups, they have different lobbyists. Like all that money just got down the drain. And from what I hear, it went up his nose. I'm not going to really dig into rumors, but I think it's impossible to get that hundreds of thousands of dollars over a period of time. And you're bouncing from place to place. People can't figure out where you live. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's distressing. So it's just like slanging dope. Instead of slanging dope, these people slang hope. I'm going to say it again. Instead of slanging dope, these guys slang hope. Right? And they say, hey, if you follow me overnight, the community is going to be this way. And it's a lot more complex than that, man. It's got to be a lot more complex than that. It's not a simple answer, man. A lot of it has to do with what you do in your personal time. Instead of playing video games all the time and chasing females and stuff like that, when's the last time you read a book or listened to a seminar about self-improvement? When's the last time you went to the gym? When's the last time you meditated? When's the last time you did anything that was going to put you ahead of the game compared to your competition? Because at the end of the day, as men, it's all competition. We live in a capitalist society, man. You can't deny it. You're competing for this girl, that girl, because she's got options, right? Why would she want a guy that's just good looking, but he's a bum? She might have fun with you for a little while because she feels sorry for you, and then it feels like she can fix you up. But in the end, a lot of girls are waking up. A lot of girls are waking up and like, man, like, besides looking at with that guy in college, I don't want anything to do with that guy. I might even have a baby with him, but he's a bum. I think I could get money from the government. I'd rather kick this guy out. He's not being able to provide for me. He just has no initiative. Got scammed by one of them for a product I never got. The lucky was lunch money amount I could get back soon. Yeah, exactly, man. See, like I almost got scammed too, and it was through like a Bitcoin scam. And alhamdulillah, thanks to Allah the Most High, man, they didn't get any of my money because I was having issues with my routing number. But if they did, it could have been hundreds of dollars. And you know what I'm saying? I know that was the Most High, Allah, you know what I'm saying, humbling me. But yeah, man, the scamming is just, I think those scammers are worse than drug dealers, because these drug dealers, they have a product for you and you know what you're getting into. These scammers, they literally lie to your face and they abuse people's trust. I feel like that's the lowest of the low, right? So, yeah, and let me get into another reason why I think Contras Brothers take a big L. I think they take a big L too. Is because after it's all said and done, let's just say none of them have any scandals, right? At the end of the day, it's what have you made? What have you produced besides a bunch of books? And maybe some movies, you know what I mean? Like some of these cats, they are living pretty well. And I'm not saying it's everybody's duty to fix the community. I'm not saying that at all. But you go back to the neighborhoods, are they employing the people that they live with? Are they employing, down and out black people? I mean, I see homeless black people all the time. I know a lot of those brothers could probably use a job too, but I don't really see them out there, putting themselves out there to let them know that they're willing to hook a brother up with a job, with an opportunity, not a handout, but with just an opportunity, right, to put themselves ahead of the game. And some of these guys may actually believe in what they're saying, right? That goes into mental illness, man. Mental illness is actually a big thing in our community. Our people have been through astronomical pain and suffering, despair, and you can't just go through that and not have some lineage in your psyche, right? So a lot of black people, we're really going through a lot of mental health issues, right? I know because I myself personally, I've seen it in my own life and in my family, right? And because of that, we will sometimes do this thing called illusions of grandeur, where you believe that you're on top of the world, you're not, right? A lot of that also happens with Mac depression, right? You think you're on top of the world, but you're not. So at the end of the day, that conscious stuff, you won't, you're back in the same position you started in. A lot of these guys, they act like wealth's not even important. Like, how can you talk about institutional wealth But you're talking about the spiritual world. I get the spiritual world is important, but if you're not leaving anything for your kids, what kind of person does that make you? That's a cop out. That's a weak man. I believe it's every man or every parent for that matter. Everybody has to leave something behind for the next generation. If you can't do that, you're a failure. I heard my boy Minister Jeff say the other day. He's like, if you get mad at all these, the top 1% and all that kinds of stuff, it's valid from like the exploitation of labor and all that kind of stuff. But if you're mad at them because they are able to hand something off to their children, you're just a hater. You're just a loser. You can still hand something off. Now it's not as much as them, but everybody should have life insurance. Once you have kids, everybody should have something to where you're going to hand off like some savings or something like that off to a kid. I literally had a brother the other day said that that's not important. They're going to have this knowledge and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm like, man, that's the biggest, weakest cop out I've ever heard. And much love to that brother, man. But that's disgusting that people even think that. It's because they rather spend all day learning about, the different gods and, different, celestial stuff, and all that's important, right? But at the end of the day, you got to be down to earth, man. You got to be down to earth. If you can't keep a roof over your head or feed your kids, I don't want to hear anything you have to say. The only thing I want to the only thing I want to hear you say is don't be like me. How about that? But if you can't provide for your kids and you can't provide for your loved ones, but you're telling other people how to live their lives, I think you need to go somewhere. And I try to humble myself all the time. I'm not going over telling this brother and that brother how to live their lives, as long as they're providing for their kids and taking care of, what they need to. Hey, if that works for you, that works for you. Some of the stuff I just might not do, right? But if you literally have nothing, not even a pot to piss in, and you're talking to other people about what they need to do, what they need to believe, and how they need to operate, man, that's crazy. That's straight crazy. And what's up, nice peace to you too as well. Warner said, good point. A lot of them got multiple baby mamas. Yep. But they talk down on Pookie and Ray Rays who got mad baby mamas. Exactly, man. It's just like, you're just a Pookie, you just Pookie and Ray Ray, man. And not all Pookie and Ray Rays are dumb and this and that. They get a bad rap, man. I had street dudes show me love, man. You know what I'm saying? I've had street dudes show me love and put me on game. So I can't diss these guys, man, and whatsoever. Because some of them are providing for their kids, man. They're just maybe doing it in a way that's not in the best light, but they're still doing what they need to do, right? But you got these guys, Hotep, freaking Baba Tunde looking, you know what I'm saying? Like got some exotic ass name, that sounds like it's from Africa, but it's not. And they have the nerve to go over to people and tell them how to live their life when their girl's taken to the child support court, or taken to the family court. You can't even see your kids on the weekend because you don't even have a car. I don't want to hear that. It's ridiculous. So, in my opinion, those are the ways that a lot of the conscious guys are taking out, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it short because I don't like to have my streams be about haters, man. And I sound like a hater. No, I'm just giving honest critique, and somebody's got to say it. Because a lot of cats, they let it go. They don't let it say anything. Then the next scammer or the next swindler will come through, and they'll fall for it all over again. I don't fall for it. I see how it is, man. I only follow the word of Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the prophets. That's it, man. All these other guys talking about this and that, and some other new crazy ideas. I've seen them come and go over the years. It's like every 5 years, another one of them comes out, and they always get exposed. I just said I never seen a Pookie, but I've seen kind of solid brothers. Hey, that's what thanks, thanks for stating that. You know what I mean? And I believe that most black men aren't Pookies. Not every man that lives in the hood is a Pookie. Not every so-called street dude is a Pookie. Just like every black man doesn't have a baby mama. Same thing. Just like every black man doesn't have a criminal record. Stereotypes do exist and have some truth to them, but for the most part, a lot of that is fabricated to make talking points against people. That's basically what it is. So, like I said, I'm keeping it short and sweet, guys. Thank you so much for coming and showing love. Nice here, Wadners. Thank you so much for your support. please like the video. I can't say that enough. Sometimes I'll have 10 people in at once, and I'll go look at the likes and maybe be 2 people. So please like the stream. That helps so much. It's free. I'm not asking for cash apps. I'm not asking for, super chats. I'm just asking, just guys to show some love that way. And it means a lot, but, gets the algorithm going. So Walter said, LOL, they don't have a car or social security check because they don't believe in working legit. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to work for the white man. You don't want to work for anybody. You know what I'm saying? My dad owned a small business. It was a struggle to hire black people sometimes. A lot of people think they're above menial labor, getting their hands dirty. It's stupid. But, the Mexican dude, they're hopping over the border and all those other kinds of stuff just to get any job. But people born in this country think they're above and they want to humble themselves like that. It's crazy, right? But anyway, hope you guys take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the Most High protect you guys. Thank you so much for showing love. The streets is watching.